speaking of all over the place, in that interview with the New York Times, President Trump also touched on the now infamous email chain his son Don Jr. released a few weeks ago. When first asked about the emails, Trump replied, quote, "Well, I never saw the email. I never saw the email until, you know." Then later in the interview, the president was asked what he thought of them after he saw them, and he stated, "Well, I thought originally it might have something to do with the payment by Russia of the DNC. Somewhere I heard that, like it was an illegal act done by the DNC or the Democrats. That's what I had heard. Now I don't know where I heard it, but I had heard that it had something to do with illegal acts with respect to the DNC." When asked if the email chain concerned him, that the Russian government was attempting to compromise the U.S. election, Trump replied, "I didn't look into it very closely, to be honest with you. I just heard there was an email requesting a meeting or something. Yeah, requesting a meeting, that they have information on Hillary Clinton. And I said, I mean, this was standard political stuff." When asked if he knew at the time that they had the meeting, Trump replied, "No, I didn't know anything about the meeting." The Times then pressed Trump, reminding him of a speech he gave about Hillary Clinton's corrupt dealings with Russia just 3 hours after the Don Jr. meeting. Trump replied that he routinely made speeches hitting Clinton on this issue and even referenced the book Clinton Cash that had come out earlier in the year. The president also noted, quote, "There wasn't much I could say about Hillary Clinton that was worse than what I was already saying." He also added, quote, "Unless somebody said that she shot somebody in the back, there wasn't much I could add to my repertoire." Joe? I don't even know what to say. This is the president of the United States.
What do you say about that rambling stream of consciousness? It's like William Faulkner on acid. I mean, the sentences just keep going on, but they're garbled and make absolutely no sense. And Mike Barnacle, I think I feel sorriest at this point for Donald Trump's attorneys. As somebody that was an attorney once, not a good one, but an attorney all the same, I feel so sorry for those attorneys, because this is a guy that damages himself every time he does a major interview. And I mean, what you usually have to do when you're investigating somebody is you have to compel them to speak through discovery, through interrogatories, or through depositions, and you have to drag them in and sit there and talk to them. Their attorney tries to fight them to get them to say as little as humanly possible. Here is Donald Trump every day just doing a brain dump, saying, "This is what's up here. I want everybody to know everything, and I'm going to say it in long, convoluted sentences."
Well, first of all, Joe, the Faulkner estate is on the phone. They're going to sue you for linking the, William Faulkner to Trump's transcript. But look, the president of the United States happens to be a lawyer's nightmare and a prosecutor's dream. I mean, given the rambling, anecdotal way, the winding responses, Nick, you've read the transcript. I mean, he goes from the emails to Napoleon to Russian winters to World War II.
Back to Napoleon again.
Back to Napoleon to Macron holding his hand, and he never saw the email to begin with. I mean,
well, there's also, if you read that carefully, look, it is garbled, so I can't draw many conclusions about the order of events. But he's talking about the DNC corruption, or the issue of money or contribution to the DNC, which we now know, of course, what the Russians were proffering in that meeting. So it does beg the question of whether, in fact, he was briefed on that meeting as soon as it happened. So he may not have known about it beforehand, but he seems to have quickly garnered the details of what the Russians were offering at some point, because then you saw them talking about it in the speech that night.
And we do know that the campaign was run entirely by Donald Trump. That it was his campaign. Everything about that campaign was centered around him.
Everything in Trump world is.
Yeah.